30 years ago when you put out a record, if you wanted to see what people thought of it, you would read about it a week or two later in Rolling Stone or in Kerrang magazine or in Entertainment Weekly or whatever. Now, you know, when we dropped the first single from the new album in November, the song's 3.5 minutes long. I could read about what 10,000 people thought about it 4 minutes after we dropped it. And that's a little bit of an upside down version of reading about it 2 weeks later in Rolling Stone from back in the day, you know what I mean? So that instant thing of having just comment after comment after comment accessible 5 minutes after you drop something is, you know, you gotta, if you go below the line, as I say, then you gotta just make sure that that stuff doesn't penetrate, because it can f with you if you let it. So I'll occasionally scroll down there and somebody says, that sounds great, and that sounds like this album, that sounds like Kill 'Em All, and you know, somebody else says these people should go kill themselves or whatever, and we take all of it in stride, and it's fine, you know. But that's a different part of the culture nowadays, obviously, than it was 30, 40 years ago.
And besides getting the review 4 minutes later, only 4 minutes later, you're also getting it unfiltered.
Exactly.
You know, it's what people are thinking. And yet I don't have the balls, Lars, to go on social media. I don't know what they're saying about me, and I don't want to know. I'm sure there's...
No, and just for context, I don't do it a lot. But when
but you would know, of course, you want to see what...
But when you've been working on a record for a couple of years, and you haven't been out of the house for 3 or 4 years, and then you drop a song, it's like, it's nice to share it with an audience, and putting it all in perspective, you know, 95% of it is positive, but there is always somebody who comes up with a very inventive way of saying something really nasty. And they're keyboard warriors. They're sitting on their mom's keyboard, you know, on their mom's computer down in the basement and typing away, and it's just part of what it is, and it's okay.
They are,
and it's okay.
In their mom's basement. No, I was not putting you down for that. I was giving you props because I don't have the guts to do it. I really don't, and I should. I mean, it's always better. I can't even watch myself. I don't watch my own show, and I should. That would be better. You'd learn things. I would like to do that, but that you're right. There's always going to be one, and that would stick with me for the rest of the day. You know, I mean, I don't have.
Yeah.
I guess people think I have thicker skin than I do, but no. I mean, I think we're all sensitive in show business.
No, and we are, and of course. But there's a part of, I'll tell you, like early on when we were in our 20s and we were coming out of that, outside of the mainstream, we were obviously on the edge and hovering in that space. And, you know, we wanted to explain ourselves, and we wanted to have the mainstream rock audience understand what our point of views were and what was fueling us and our inspirations and all that type of stuff. And then when somebody would hurl something at you, it always felt like the best fuck you back to them was that it completely just bounced off you. So when they said something nasty to you, Metallica fucking can't do this, can't do that, they suck, they blah, blah, blah.
Who's
it was like,
this?
What do you, the best remedy was to ignore it and keep charging forward, because that, you know what that did? That wound them up even more, because they were expecting to get into a confrontation with you and get into a debate with you. And when you ignored them, at least back in the day, that was the case. Now it becomes this whole two-way street. The minute you engage, you're sort of caught in this thing, you know.
But I have to tell you, now, I'm a pretty fairly, I would say, astute observer of the music scene. I'm a music lover. I have a lot of music. Okay, I'm not in the business. I certainly have no musical talent. I don't read the trades every week, but just as someone who's not unaware of the music business or your place in it or your records, which I have in CD form, going back to, okay, so let me give you my impression of what you're saying, because it's not my impression. My impression is that Metallica, it's not music for everybody. It's a little too hard for a lot of people. But the integrity reputation, I feel, has never been assailed. I don't remember any. I'm sure you can always find it. But I feel like there are certain people on that level, like you never became anything close to a joke, even though you've been around. Just time can make some people joke. And there are bands who are sort of known, they're thought of as soft, or sometimes it's not even deserved. Like I remember Hootie and the Blowfish had a huge album in the 90s and everybody loved it. And before even the second one came out, they turned on the first one. It was like, wait, this is the same thing that you said was great a year ago and now it's super unhip.
Sure.
So they don't, but I feel like there was none of that ever tainted Metallica. I feel like Pearl Jam is another band like that. U2, I would say, sometimes has done goofy things, like put out, forcing you to hear their record on your phone or whatever that thing they did, but not as a band, as a music. You know, they've been around a while. And some people, bands just have, even in the snarky press, a great deal of respect. It never veers into what I feel like you seem to be aware of that I am not.
No, it
I don't remember
doesn't.
any Metallica sucks.
Yeah, no, generally.
Like Nickelback sucks.
Yeah, no,
I've heard that. And not to knock Nickelback, I'm not that aware of their music, but that I know is a joke. I get it from my writers, like Nickelback. There are bands that get that. I feel like Metallica never got that.
Hey, thanks for watching the clip. Hit the subscribe button now so you never miss out on our Club Random content that's posted daily.